Greetings, dear viewers. You're watching the Krasmodo channel? A fast and powerful vehicle always captures people's imagination, and unique and unusual designs definitely spark interest as well. A motorcycle with a V12 engine is definitely a marvel of engineering. Just don't pay attention to the Kawasaki label on the tank. The Japanese company never produced such motorcycles. Kawasaki's products only served as the basis for this incredible custom build. Here is a motorcycle powered by a V12 engine, created by British engineer Alan Millyard. Enjoy the video. A nuclear engineer by profession, Alan Millyard has been passionate about motorcycles all his life. And not just passionate, he builds the most unique custom bikes. It all started when Alan was a teenager. Back then, he integrated a mini engine into a BSA frame. His early passion for two-stroke Kawasaki's led him to create inline 4, 5, and 6-cylinder engines based on factory motorcycle models. Then Alan turned his attention to 4-stroke engines, again from Kawasaki. One of his unique creations is a motorcycle with a homemade V8 engine based on an old Kawasaki Z1. The stock Z1 was equipped with an inline 4. Alan combined 2-cylinder and piston assemblies with cylinder heads from the Z1 on a homemade crankcase, creating a V8 engine with a displacement of 1,600 cc. Apparently, the customizer reduced the piston stroke because otherwise the displacement would have been 1.8 liters. We will take a closer look at this machine in the documentary about motorcycles with V8 engines. Alan's creativity did not end with the creation of this custom machine. The pinnacle of his work was a motorcycle with a V12 engine. And since Alan loves Kawasaki, once again, a model from this company was chosen as the base. In 2002, Millyard showcased his V8 at one of the motor shows. As Alan himself said, "I was there, keeping an eye on the V8, and nearby there was a pair of crankcases from a Z2300 for sale." Some of the event guests seeing those crankcases said, "Well, maybe they'll come in handy for your next project if you're planning to make a V12. I replied that I wasn't planning to. They said it would be impossible anyway. Of course, as soon as they said that, I got excited about the idea. I spent the next 2 days thinking about how I was going to do it, and by the time the show was over, I had figured it all out. There was the Kawasaki Z2300 with an inline 6-cylinder engine, a legendary motorcycle in its time. The model was produced from 79 to 89 and had outstanding features: 120 horsepower, a top speed of around 230 kilometers per hour, a quarter mile in 11.5 seconds, and 0 to 100 in 4 seconds. And that's on a hyper-tourer weighing 314 kilograms. Designing and building the V12 required maximum effort from Alan. Just so you know, Millyard rarely uses blueprints, developing his ideas exclusively in his head. Also, his projects involve a lot of handcrafting. Here, take a look at how skillfully Alan handles a hacksaw and a file.
We have a lot of activity at the mechanical stand this weekend, so to be our Millyard, we only have this special 5-cylinder Kawasaki with 2-stroke engines.
The creation of the engine was similar to the previous project in that Millyard once again kept the original cylinders as the front row. It was tilted forward at 35 degrees from vertical instead of 5, like on the original Z1300. The second row of cylinders was positioned at the same angle backward. As a result, the angle was 70 degrees. It turned out to be optimal. The engine didn't get much longer, and there was enough space for the fuel system. One of the problems was the internal asymmetry of the piston assembly. The rear row of cylinders rotated 180 degrees, did not align with the timing chain plane of the front row. Millyard had to get creative, and in the end, it worked out. The only thing in the engine that's smaller than standard is the piston stroke, which has been reduced from 71 millimeters to 63. The displacement is 2,281 cubic centimeters. The pistons, valves, and camshafts are standard. Millyard is sure that he lost some horsepower, but one way or another, his engine still produces more than 200 horsepower. One of the challenges was to fit twice as many connecting rods onto the standard crankshaft. The enthusiast ingeniously solved this by making the second row's connecting rods shorter and attaching them to the first row's rods. It turned out to be quite difficult to find the right grade of high-strength chromoly steel. Alan managed to find rods with a diameter of 5 inches made from the required material. He even joked about it. I couldn't cut this material with a saw, but luckily my friend Chris Holliday helped out with CNC machining. The fuel injection was taken from the latest model Z2300 Voyager. The exhaust system was built from various inexpensive exhaust parts from the aftermarket. It was designed in such a way that standard mufflers could be installed, but the customizer preferred straight pipes to mufflers. Many other standard Kawasaki parts found their use in this beast: the starter, generator, and other electrical components. The chassis looks almost normal, but to fit the V12, the frame had to be lengthened by 13 centimeters. The fuel tank was also extended in length. By the way, at first the fuel consumption was about 30 liters per 100 kilometers, but after all the modifications it was about 16 or 17 liters. The motorcycle was finished in 2003. Numerous successful engine runs with the electric motor meant that it should work properly, and after pressing the starter button, the V12 came to life. However, 2 weeks later, a connecting rod bearing seized, but fortunately without any consequences. Alan improved the connecting rods and the lubrication system and continued to brake in the machine. The motorcycle has excellent performance and good handling, and compared to the factory Kawasaki Z2300, his custom bike is only 40 kilograms heavier. By the way, Alan Millyard rode his creation in the Tourist Trophy race on the Isle of Man. The Z2300 motorcycle, even upon close and thorough inspection, looks like a factory-made product. And this once again proves the genius of Alan Millyard as an engineer and creator. A man who, without blueprints or 3D modeling, creates incredible motorcycles using just a hacksaw and a file. And most importantly, Alan doesn't sell his creation. He intends to enjoy his masterpiece himself. That's the story of an incredible custom bike with a V12 engine in the frame. That's it, my friends. My story comes to an end. By the way, I'll leave a link to Millyard's channel in the video description. There's a lot of interesting stuff there. Well, you've been watching the Krasmodo channel. Thank you so much for your activity on the channel, sharing, subscribing, commenting, and so on. Special thanks to everyone who supports the channel financially. See you next time.